No,
what?
Hey, mate, it's a bodybuilding podcast. What, they need to get into the life.
We're gonna just be eating this whole podcast. I've got my.
They're going to start pinning.
I know. Everyone drink at the same time.
In that case, then give me 2 seconds so I can prep a meal just to get heated up.
You may as well. Probably a
Give me 2 seconds.
Is he actually getting food?
I think so.
Oh, I thought he was taking the piss.
Unorganised mess, man.
Do you just want to go get something to eat as well?
Nah, I'm fucking organised, unlike you used to.
You don't have to eat your 10 steak and egg meal for the day.
That's later on. I'll have that after this. See how long we want to chat shite.
Did Cornelius make any adjustments?
No, the only thing we have decided was to basically take out the refeeds.
Yeah.
I think I said to you.
Mm-hmm.
He basically gave me the choice. He was like, look, you can either keep these cheat meals in, even though they're unnecessary at the moment, because you don't really need to be refeeding. If you feel like you need them, you can keep them, but ideally you don't need any refeeds just now.
Why does he not think you need any refeeds, considering how much he kind of pulled you down so drastically?
Just because, based off of all the feedback, so like I know when I'm really drained, and I know when I'm flat and depleted, and I think it's because I'm eating so much protein that I'm obviously just converting not most of it. I'm converting some of that to glycogen, so my muscles are staying full.
Man.
But yeah, I feel fine. So I just said to him, look, I just wanted to get this over and done with as quick as possible. So if it means just doing a more extreme 6-week cut versus having cheat meals and refeeds every weekend, but it maybe takes you 10 or 12 weeks, I'd rather just get it over and done with. But
I don't know what you mean. Do you think having the higher proteins actually made a difference? Because I know there's arguments for your stomach getting all fucked up. Digestion can be obviously impaired after a certain amount. So I don't know. Like, how many grams do they have you per pound of body weight?
Well, I'm having 360 grams, so I'm like 240 pounds now. So
Good, yeah. Back out.
Razor,
40.
stop being so unprofessional, man.
No,
Fucking hell. You're going to get in a victim, it's just going to be you and me, Daz.
I know.
Sorry, there was fucking. Were you recording it there?
No, I wasn't.
Then shut it back up.
It's actually prepped.
It says up in the top left-hand corner, recording.
Oh, yeah. Psych. No, I just wanted to click record and then just keep it going. But now everyone realises how much of a belly you are.
Victor's not even fucking here for half of it.
Oh. I wish I started when you said you were going to get something to eat, because I thought you were actually taking the piss out of me.
I know. Right.
Right.
Is this it? Are we rocking and rolling with us?
Yeah. Hey, I'm just waiting. I'm thinking that you should be the host, Aaron.
Yeah, I'd quite like to nominate myself as the moderator.
You're the probably most inviting.
Well, I'm the oldest. So
if Fraser was a host, you'd get nothing.
I'll take the responsibility. I'll take all the responsibility.
He's probably not even taking any pictures, and he's probably taking selfies.
No.
Hold up. Oh, say something.
Nah, fuck it.
Champion boys.
Oh, fucking keep getting action shots in his face.
Right, can we get started?
Superb.
He's absolutely sledgered. But yeah, should we go on, Daz? Introduce us. Introduce the show.
I take it most of this fucking first however long we've been doing it can be cut out of this.
Nah, you keep it in. Keep it real.
Fuck off.
Keep it real.
This is the worst thing ever.
No, it's not. It's comedy. If you had used to do it with Luke, you just click it.
I think we should pause and restart.
Yeah.
No, this has been funny.
I was away and I was talking shite about Cornelius. Nobody even knows who Cornelius is.
Well, you can tell them now.
I know.
I just started again.
Cornelius.
Have you got an actual?
See, this is comedy gold. This is what's going to win us the BAFTAs and the Oscars. People actually don't care. They just want to see other people interact.
Your phone was a microphone because it was spun right like that.
It was like that.
You actually got a microphone.
Oh my god.
You know what I'll do? We'll do two, right? We'll do a PG and then we'll do the uncut. And this can be the uncut.
A bloopers one.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll edit this bit out. This won't be a bit. We'll put it in the bloopers.
Yeah, the bloopers. Mate, I guarantee you that 90% of it will be bloopers, and we'll have about 2 minutes of footage.
I know. You're Scotland down. So let's just kind of kick it off a wee bit with just a brief reintroduction. So why are we doing this? What are you wanting to get out of this? For me, you just want to go first, or?
Well,
I think we should start with an introduction about ourselves,
yeah.
And then why we went into it.
Yeah. So in terms of bodybuilding and training, like how we got.
Yeah. Well, just how we got into thinking about doing this podcast and coming on.
Right.
You know?
So
we obviously started because of like training and bodybuilding and everything.
I think it's funny that
Call of Duty, and then we were fucking moaning at each other.
That's true, actually.
Call of Duty, we were played Call of Duty every night, talking absolute shite, and eventually one of us just said, we should be recording this because we talk some amount of shite and this could possibly be entertaining.
Well, I thought about it a few days before Fraser told me. And then I was just like, Eureka, a bazinga.
Yeah. So I think it's important just to give a wee quick background on who we all are. Give a wee disclaimer in case there's anyone watching this trying to get some medical advice.
I can definitely not get any.
So we are not doctors, we are not medical professionals, we are fitness professionals. Everything that we're about to say and tell you is our opinion based off of our X amount of years experience in the industry. So that's a nice wee segue to one of the first things I want to cover would just be quick reintroduction, who you are, how long you've been training, what got you into bodybuilding. So one of you can kick it off. Taylor, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'll go. Probably started training when I was like 13 because I came back from Spain, so I didn't really have much to do, and I kind of thought I was a little bit chubster.
You were living in Spain?
Yeah, moved to Spain for 5 years.
Second this podcast, I'm like, never knew this, learning new shit.
That's what I was saying. There's so many things that, although we're pretty good mates, like there's so many things that we won't know. So yeah, I was there for 5 years and came back. When I started school, I kind of fell into it, and then obviously started off with trying to lose the chub, and then it kind of progressed. I never actually thought or really considered like doing bodybuilding until like 2 years ago. Up till then, I always did my training because I was playing rugby at a decent level, so just to kind of complement that. But I noticed that like throughout the whole time, I was always more drawn to a lot of the kind of strength training stuff.
Yeah.
Than actually even playing. I'd sometimes miss sessions and I'd be in the gym instead because I just find it more enjoyable. And yeah, then obviously kind of progressed and I wasn't playing rugby anymore and I was like, what am I going to do? And I dabbled with like some 5 or 10 week strength training program because I was like, okay, well maybe like a power lifter. I was strong anyway from the years of training, so I was like, we'll do that. And then that lasted about 7 weeks. I was like, this is rubbish. Could see myself like feathering away, just from the change of training and the different kind of methods. And I was like, this is pish. And then it just kind of clicked because I'd always been into it like through. Remember Ziz?
Yeah.
I was as loyal in the day with
like the first ever Spice Boy, man.
And then it kind of progressed like Steve Cook, and then it was like Flex Lewis, and then you just wing it. When I hit Flex Lewis, it was like all the bigger guys, and then I ended up going look at the history like Dorian Yates and all that.
Yeah.
You know, Franco Colombo, Arnie, all of them, and then I think it just kind of made sense. And so I switched to that kind of training, and then I reached out, obviously, to our mate Andy. He's going to be loving this because he's going to be making a million. He's going to be making millions from this.
I was adamant. I was going to say, right, let's ban using his name on this podcast.
All right, we'll just bleep it. We'll go bleep.
We're not allowed to say his name on this podcast.
Just bleep his name.
You know, we'll be asking for fucking royalties, man, because you would see him holding up an Iron Brew bottle. I'll be like, yeah, an AMS bottle. Wouldn't have any branding.
He doesn't know.
What?
About Andy.
Yeah, but
what?
We can't talk about that on the podcast. That's Andy's news to announce.
Yeah, I know, but like edit this bit out, Taylor, obviously.
Oh, no, I know. I think I know it is. I know what it is. I found out last week, but I didn't realise that it's actually come to fruition.
What? You found out last week?
Sorry. Well, you briefly mentioned it, that it was potential, and I'm just putting two and two together.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm glad to look.
You went on a huge segue there, so... what age are you now? How many years have you been training?
Yeah, no, Fraser, cheers for that, man.
No, man.
Yeah, I've been training for what, 11 years now. But I only feel like it's been 2 years of proper. I feel like I wasted so long. I wasted so much time, man. Just like fanning about when I knew from the start that I loved training, and this is just a natural progression of it. You know, I've always been so competitive, and it just makes so much sense to continue to, you know. So yeah, I've been doing that for that long, and then obviously just coming off the back of my first prep. I don't know if you'd call it that. Coronavirus fucked it, didn't it? So. But
yeah, of course, it was definitely your first prep. You can still classify it as your first prep because it was a proper prep.
Yeah, but I did that. You know,
so you're basically not far off, pretty much stage ready.
Mate, 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. It was horrible.
Yeah, fucking tell me about it. I was also there.
Oh, mate, we went through that together. Shit, we went through that together, man. Fraser was particularly stressed, but I hadn't hit me though. I really hadn't hit me, and it's only until you mentioned it to me that it started playing in my mind. And then
on coronavirus.
Yeah, and how it could potentially be cancelling the shows.
I love how everyone was like, "No way they'll be cancelled," and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna get fucking cancelled for sure."
Yeah.
Like, it was inevitable, and I remember everyone was like saying, "Don't follow like the PCA page. Don't worry, they're not going to update you. Follow all the individual venue pages because they're announcing that they're shutting." Well, PCA announced it. That was fucking heartbreaking. I just remember you and me texting each other on that day. You and me were like, "If there's going to be a day, it's going to happen. It's going to be today." Like, we knew it was going to happen, and we were all that message coming through. And then we were both I remember just screenshotting it and just sending it to Andy, going, "Well, bleep his name out again." Just screenshotting and saying, "That's so fucking done." And then and then again, and I was like, "Fuck this." And so then it got to a point. I was like, "Can I just go eat?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's prep done." But I was like, just like that. It was so fucking heartbreaking.
It was so brutal.
It's literally just like the carpet getting pulled from underneath you, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly for me, because you obviously you'd kind of expect or kind of seen it coming, but I was so in it, mate. I was so in it that nothing.
I was not giving up. I was like, until this is announced as being cancelled, I'm still going. I'm not stopping prep.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was one of those ones that's always that back burner in the back of your head. You're like,
you ever think it influenced certain points? Like your effort, you ever think you could have put more in at certain points because you had that mentality? Or you had that feeling? You had that feeling.
I couldn't put on anything more into that prep.
I love it. I love that. I love that.
No chance. I didn't bitch out at any point from doing the prep. It was just a case of like, it was a mental stress.
Yeah.
That was the best way of putting it. Like, I was still focused, still dedicated, didn't stop the prep, but like, it was something I was very, very, very aware of. And I was like, it was getting to me because I was like, because it was the last 2 weeks out, man, that's make or break for a lot of people in terms of like, like, well, before we started doing the really stupid shit to try and peak, like, when are we going to find out? Because like, we're literally just a ball hair off from starting to do all that.
Yeah. It's like a prep's stressful enough, never mind having that hanging over the back, so I can't imagine what that...
Did something not happen to you along those lines? But it wasn't...
Literally, I was in the exact same situation that you were in. I was getting it back when I was a teenager. I was prepping for my first show. I was like 18, and I was prepping for UKBFF juniors, and I felt like I was like well ahead of schedule. It was like 7 or 8 weeks out. It was like a small random show, UKBFF Dundee or something. It's a show that doesn't exist just now, but the show basically got cancelled. The show promoter had a fucking fallout with like the event organisers or whatever the fuck it was, and the whole thing got cancelled. And I remember like the guy who was helping kind of prep me and mentor me at the time phoned me, or he texted me, I can't remember what he did, and he just basically said, look, the show's cancelled, mate. And I remember just ending the phone call with him and just going through and saying to my mum, like, my show's just been cancelled, and I burst out crying. Like, I was fucking distraught, man. Like, all that fucking... Because I was prepping for 20 weeks. It was like a big 20-week prep.
Did you prep yourself?
No, I was getting helped by Robert Craig, Rab, who runs the PCA Scottish, he helps run. Back in the day, he was one of the original coaches before everyone became an online coach.
Yeah. How did that work? Did you just fax him back in the day? Fax him.
Fucking check-in photos.
Send a carrier pigeon.
I said, wee pigeon. Do you know, it was so fucking long ago, I can't even remember. I think it was just fucking...
In case no one knows, Darren's actually 200 years old.
Yeah. I'll be the old man of the group.
Just message him over Bebo.
Aye. Bebo and fucking MSN Messenger. Good old days. But yeah, so...
Do you think there'll be shows, like, when do you reckon the shows will start up again this year?
I think October.
How long do you reckon they'll give people? Do you think they'll just patch shows? Like, surely they'll just patch shows. The amount of people will just be like...
I don't know, because I know a few people that are prepping just now for the... Is it British, which is only 8 weeks?
But, yeah, but Andy was saying that to us as well, that they think that the Two Bros one that's meant to be, like, was it Greg that's prepping for?
Yeah.
I think that's as well.
Fuck. So how long will he have been prepping for? That'll be like 40 weeks. Potentially.
Yeah, that's a long prep. He can handle it though. He's a fucking strong boy.
He's literally going to get turned inside out.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome to see though.
I know.
I think if I can see anyone doing it, you can see him doing it.
Yeah.
Pro card this year or next year, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. If not this year, next year.
Yeah. I think Greg's shite. No way he's getting his pro card. Kidding on, I obviously agree.
Obviously not seen his ass.
You know, though, it is difficult to tell because you get no real perspective of how big these people are. Because his issue won't be condition if he comes in like how he's done before. Like he'll get into condition, but I've only seen him and Andy compared together. I've not seen them with other people, so I understand how he is in relation to.
Well, Andy was up against a lot of fucking big boys at NABA.
Yeah, I get, yeah. That's what I'm kind of alluding to. Like, does he have the size? You know, that's why I'll be interesting to see. I hope he does though, because it'd be good to get another pro in Scotland. I don't know, you know, obviously Karen, she'll like that I'm saying this on this. I know, but you know, Karen, obviously she's the first IFBB figure in Scotland.
Yeah.
But is there any other Scottish IFBB pros that are in the?
Well, yeah. Right now, I'm pretty sure there's no Scottish IFBB pros in any category, male and or female, except Karen and Erin.
Is this in the whole time of Scotland though, or is this just at the moment?
I think this is at the moment, because back in the day, Stevie Creighton. Have you heard of Stevie Creighton?
No.
Pretty damn well.
Like Stevie
Creighton basically was a Scottish.
I've met him so many times. He used to come in the bash all the time.
Yeah, he wasn't. I don't know if he was an IFBB pro, but he was stood on the same stage as Ronnie Coleman. There's a photo of Stevie.
I think other federations that he may have competed in when he started, but
yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Would it just be the NPC, which is IFBB?
Or it may have been. I don't know.
Oh no, they had like Iron Man and stuff as well.
Wouldn't have been that.
That's a show. I don't know. Who knows?
No.
Fraser, so you've got to explain now what I had to explain.
Who you are.
All right.
How long have you been training?
Wow, that's fucking
weird. He's not here. He's not here. We're muted, Darren. We're muted.
What? I know. He's just been sitting the whole time.
I'm not. I've been chatting.
I know. He's been contributing to the conversation.
He knocked himself.
Right, Fraser, you shoot.
I've been training. Well, I've been PT about 6 years now. Training probably about just short of 10, and training properly, like I'd definitely say last like 4. Training actually properly, because people say they go to the gym and they train. They don't train properly.
Yeah, that's what I spent too long doing, man.
Yeah.
What would you guys say is like the most common things people talk about, like will do mistake-wise when you start up training?
3 sets of 8.
Yeah.
That's
that's one thing I fucking hate. See coaches that give a specific rep to target for.
Too hard to gauge.
Oh, man, why the fuck are you doing that?
What do you mean?
Like it goes like 3 sets of 8.
Oh, like saying
1 sets of 8.
This is when someone pings a thumbnail of Darren's plan.
Do you mean you mean if a coach gives an exact rep number, like saying doing 3 sets of 10 reps? Yeah.
Like so if you think like you say you've got a squat,
rep
right?
Ranges are important.
Or 3 sets of 10, but they say that exact rep. What if you get to that and it's easy?
I know.
What if the last set you're fucking burst? Doesn't allow for anything. Obviously you should be given a rep range.
Yeah.
Like for progression and can measure it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never understood that, especially when you're doing massive big compounds that are going to tax you. It's just too hard to judge, and you can, especially when you kind of get to a stronger level, you know, your strength can vary from day to day depending on whether or not you're nailing all other aspects of your routine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can understand maybe if it's like a wee granny that's doing it, but it doesn't, it should not be put out, I think, for the majority of people.
Yeah.
Because you just waste your time. I did that for so long. Do you see it? It's daft because it was on bodybuilding.com, and it was, when they used to do the blueprints.
Yeah, vaguely.
So the first one I did was the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Like I had like back. It was like chest and back, and then it was like legs and delts. It was horrible. See
that 2 training sessions a day.
Yeah. One of the day had one. It was 2 training sessions on 2 days of the week, and one of them would be like hams, and one of them would be like hammies, and the other one would be like quads. You just do opposing muscles in the same day. It was just stupid volume though. But again, it was just like set rep ranges.
I think back in the day when I first started training, one of the biggest mistakes that I myself and a lot of guys made was they would read these training routines out of the magazines, so Flex magazine and Muscular Development, Muscle and Fitness, that you didn't really have access to all the amount of information that we've got now. So it was just like copying like Branch Warren's workout, literally like
that's like the worst. That's actually the worst workout you can copy. That's like 500-pound dumbbells, side lateral raises for 5 sets of 20.
These guys that are just so genetically elite, and then you've got the majority of the fucking population is not genetically elite. So what works for them is just usually not going to work for you. Like,
it's fuck even their own workout.
I know, it's just fucking. It was like literally, as you said, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12 on everything. But it's been good for, obviously, when Jordan came about, he's really drilled in the whole upper lower push pull legs. There he is. One load and one deload. I think that method of training is a lot more relevant to average people. Do you know what I mean?
If you know how to train.
Yeah.
If you can standardize like intensity and effort, but if you are at like a nice early stage, chances are you're not, because you're gonna overshoot or undershoot on so many occasions, and you're not gonna really understand, or you're gonna undershoot. You're never gonna overshoot.
When you start up, you should obviously like your split should be like
upper lower.
Doing like upper lower full body splits.
Yeah.
When you start out. It shouldn't be until a case you get to a point that like
the foundation's there, and then you're starting to see the lagging parts.
Get into a proper split that you can push that sort of training.
I think
you can't learn proper technique and stuff like that when you push like progressive overload the way in a top set.
Yeah.
I do think the upper lower is a really good idea, is a really good starting point though for people that, even if you think you've been training, I would still advise doing it for a little bit, because it's going to give you, and it's going to give, if you have a coach, an idea of the minimum effective volume that you need to do.
Yep.
To start growing, and then you can, once you grow from that, you then look into like push pull legs, and then once you've kind of exacerbated that, it would probably go into full body parts. But my view of that has changed like dramatically, because I used to really, really like the kind of pro split. So every day would be dedicated to a muscle group, and it worked pretty well for me. But it's since kind of starting to change the push pull legs, I've kind of noticed like a lot more like fullness, and my ability to actually recover for each body part is a lot better. It'll be good when we actually get back into a gym, and I'll be able to do rotations. Because right now I'm just on one rotation, so I could do a kind of one week dedicated to that exercise, the week after dedicated to another, and then just rotate. But I'm really looking forward to that though. But definitely, you kind of looking back, it would have been smarter, I think, just to stick to it. Because I always thought the bro split was the smarter way to go about it, but it's not until I kind of started doing my own actual research, and getting into like the proper kind of bodybuilding stuff that you realise a lot of these things.
Yeah, I think that if you're a beginner or you're just getting into training, you should not be going into the gym and just training your shoulders. Like
no.
Bro split is like going into the gym, train chest on a Monday, train back on a Tuesday, train shoulders on a Wednesday. You go in and do one muscle group.
Why do you think that's still like the preconception though? Because surely now, when you're starting to kind of advance, at least like the kind of knowledge people have towards training, why do you still think people automatically start there?
I think it's because they look at the guys that have been training for 10, 12, 15 years, they look at the big guys in the gym and they say, fuck, I want to look like that guy. I'll just copy what he does. But
it's a sheer copy and paste of what people want to look like are doing.
But even though there's still...
I'll say that as well. Like,
even though
there's... copying Arnie's workout, because as soon as you put his name on it, you're like, oh, well, you fucking done it. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just copying.
Yeah, aye.
But even, I still find that so surprising, though, even though there's so much information and actual good stuff out there, that even when people just randomly look it up, they're still getting met with the bro split. I think it's just like looking back, I feel like it's almost like an easier approach because you're getting almost like a week in between.
Yeah.
But when you think about recovery for it, like, you obviously want to hit something as frequently as possible once it's recovered. So if you're recovering in less than a week, then why wouldn't you want to hit it? I prefer a push-pull leg split because of that. You hit things more often. But taking you a week for something to recover, you really need to look at like your training, your food, your volume, or something, man, because something isn't right if it's taking you a week to recover between sessions.
Yeah. Remember Dorian Yates used to say we'd be angry if he couldn't sit down in the toilet without having sore legs for like a week. And I was like, this guy must have trained so hard. I can't even comprehend that. A week, and that was obviously still not enough time.
Yeah. I definitely preach that to my clients, like frequency. So trying to train the muscle as many times as you can, basically, within the week, within the month. So if you go in the gym and do a bro split, you're training chest on a Monday, blah, 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 as I said, that you're hitting your chest 4 times throughout the month. Yeah. Whereas if you're doing push-pull legs or like a 3 days on, 1 day off rotation or something like that, it's about 7, 8 or 9 times you're training your chest.
Yeah. That was actually going back to one of the old JP videos, and it was a leg day one, and he goes on to say that people will start and they'll do this, and you'll be doing push-pull legs, you'll be doing legs like every 3 or 4 days. They're doing it every week. Think of how much better and how much better the legs are going to look when you see that program and you're doing it a total of like, I don't know how many times it was. It was like 3 times it. It was just that for me. I was like, okay, yeah, I get this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it's going to be more challenging, but I get it because you're going in and you're getting your comp. You need to stick to your compounds, I feel, just so you can load. You can just load to hell.
Yeah.
And get the most out of it before obviously more of the fluff stuff.
Yeah. Focus on the basics.
Yeah.
Meat and potatoes.
I know.
Always like that's the main focus. You should always, maybe at the beginning of a session, other than maybe like some activation stuff, it should be your balls to the wall, heavy as shit sets, main priority, and then it should be like obviously get smaller and smaller, fluffier and fluffier, basically, with the exercises and stuff. But like people that come in and you just see them doing. I hate arm days. Because it just feels like it's nothing but fluff.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I quite like them. I get a wee rest. I mean, this is fun.
I know. Like going into that, it just shows you that. I hate that though, like going into the gym knowing that you're going in to do an easy workout.
Yeah.
It's like.
I was just saying that. I said that to Joe today. I was like, oh, I quite like arms because it's quite easy.
Yeah.
And then she was saying, she just shut me up. She said, you're not training hard enough. Because it shouldn't be easy, because when you're brutalizing your arms.
At the same time, though, like, I understand why you'd say it's easy. And like comparison to legs, it's fucking easy.
Yeah. There's going to be someone out there being like, nah, pussies.
Don't know how to train their arms. Like,
sitting there curling a dumbbell.
No.
So Darren, obviously we're taking about 20 minutes and we're actually never answering any of the original questions, which is fantastic. But obviously Fraser kind of segued to, I don't know, je ne sais quoi, So he only answered about.
Why you do
He only answered. I don't even think he told us why he got into it.
So
You want to give him 60 seconds to do it?
The main thing I want to know from Fraser is what got you into bodybuilding? What made you want to start it?
We're going to give him a minute.
like competitive bodybuilding?
You got a minute to sum it up.
A minute.
Right.
No, just in general, what got you into training?
I like training, but I used to like do swimming and stuff like that, and I always kind of like used to training all the time.
You look like a swimmer.
You like get that clock off, man. It's so distracting.
Go!
My head making shorter.
Yeah, the fuck.
Aaron, can you play the counting theme tune?
Hi.
Right, go.
Classic reason, basically, just like want to look better, body confidence, got addicted to it. Got a bit of that, what do they call it? Not body dysmorphia, but like, I'm not big yet, and it's just kept going. I'm still not big yet. Done.
Yeah, you're a big boy, man.
That was a second left, Taylor.
Yeah, it was. To be fair, I think I actually might have taken a second to click it, so all right, you can stay in the podcast, mate. Do we not actually announced the name of the podcast, or do we announce, or do we just wait until we just?
Let's just fucking chuck it on.
Scotch Beef said it.
Oh nah, I was gonna give it a wee drum roll.
Betting nobody even heard what he just said.
Scotch Beef. Darren, I think you have the most radio voice. So in your best radio voice, please announce the name of the podcast.
Radio voice? I definitely don't have the best radio voice, but we have decided to call this podcast Scotch Beef.
Yes.
Because believe it or not, we're all Scottish.
Darren's definitely not.
This is Scottish beef right here. So yes, Scotch beef, the best kind of beef.
It's because we're Scottish and we're beefy in terms of muscle.
Even beefier. And beef is.
Darren, what's your second name?
Eh?
What's your second name?
Don't worry about that. It's not important.
It's a beautiful Scottish name, that is.
You know, the funny thing is, I know we're kind of obviously teasing on the subject, but a lot of people don't actually know, like, because it's not something I ever talk about, but I feel weird even saying ethnic background, because I was born in Scotland and raised in Scotland by my Scottish mum. So it was my dad. My dad was Kurdish, so I'm half Kurdish. Kurdistan is not even a country anymore.
No, what is
do you know, I don't even really know this story.
It is common knowledge.
No, it's just like the surrounding countries, there's just constant fucking civil wars going on. The surrounding countries just all kind of took over. So
sounds just like, a bit like Govan.
Yeah, it's just fucking, it's mad. But yeah, it's basically Iraq, Syria, Turkey, like that neck of the woods. So
that neck of the woods.
Just there.
There's definitely no woods in Kurdistan. Desert mountain range.
Oh, there's a sand.
I know. But there we go. There's a wee knowledge bomb for some people that probably a lot of people don't even know.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's kind of a weird one for me, because I've born and bred in Scotland with my Scottish mum. So for me, I feel just 100% Scottish. But then I look in the mirror, and it's like none.
I'm a man.
Something different there. But yeah, there you go. But there's another wee secret I'm going to drop on you is my MMF logo, the eagle.
Yeah.
That's why I've got an eagle in my logo. It's because of my Kurdish heritage.
And
it's why I've got an eagle tattooed on my forearm.
All right, it's an eagle.
So I've got I've pigeon on my arm. Pigeon with flames coming out the background.
A fucking pigeon.
I know. Wish.
I could actually see the pain in Darren's face that you just called his eagle a pigeon.
Shat all over my ancestors.
Like me saying,
I'm actually kidding. I'm kidding on.
I know.
Just an opportunity.
I know. You seen it, you took it.
This is the quality entertainment people want.
Exactly.
Maybe that's a good term for him, is entertainment, because it's painfully entertaining.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
That should be the wee thumbnail.
That's going in the podcast.
Yeah. That's made the edit.
Yep. So do you want to get into kind of your background, Darren, and kind of what you're doing?
So
loves pigeons.
There you go. I like pigeons now all of a sudden.
I heard something else. I thought you said something else there.
I was actually thinking about this today, that it's my birthday in 2 weeks, and that'll be my training anniversary for 14 years. So I've been training for 14 years, which sounds like a fucking shitload a long time.
Yeah. How long would you say you've been actually training though? Or do you think have you been just full throttle for 14 years? It's like JP if you did.
I've definitely went through phases. I feel like my first. I started training when I was 15 years old, and I remember it so vividly because I remember wanting to start training when I was 14. And back then, I read in the magazines that if you start weight training too early, you can stunt your growth plates and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I was worried, like, oh shit, I'm too young to be training. So I waited till my 15th birthday, and literally as soon as I turned 15, my big brother at the time made me a training program, and I just started training, and that was it.
Was your big brother into it? Was he a coach or was he a PT?
He wasn't into bodybuilding, but he was into training. He came from, I was going to say obese. He wasn't obese, but he came from a fat background, and I came from the opposite. So I was a very, very skinny.
You just got that.
Yeah, I was really, really skinny, and at the time I was obsessed with wrestling. Back then at WWF, it was fucking amazing. You see all these big, larger than life guys, and I was just a scrawny wee fucking borderline anorexic guy. I was like, we stick thin arms, you know what it's like?
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck, man, I want to be like those guys. I want to be a big, larger than life, cartoon looking guy. And then from wrestling, it transitioned into bodybuilding. I got to know who Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman was. And back then, the only things that were going about in terms of like footage and stuff was just YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And it was just on DVDs. So it was just, I would just constantly watch Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman YouTube videos. And I would say between ages of 15 and 20, I took things very seriously to the point where I sacrificed my social life. Like, I didn't really go out clubbing until I was like 18. And even at that, I wasn't really going out that much. I would always like knock back.
That's when you can go start clubbing now.
Yeah, legally. But it was
I know what you mean.
In terms of like drinking and like even like I was a bit of a fucking weirdo when I was between the ages of 15 and 18. And then I feel like I missed a good chunk of my kind of social life, because when I was like between the ages of 15 and 18, I wasn't even interested in girls. Like, I wasn't trying to go out and get my hole and like,
I know.
like, I just wasn't interested, and then I just wanted to be a bodybuilder, and I wanted to be like fucking Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman. Like, I didn't go out, I didn't really do much. But then I think maybe in my early 20s, I started making up for a lot of like lost time in terms of socializing. I started going to Ibiza and going on lads' holidays, and I think that's when my training was probably just terrible. So from ages of 20 to 25, I was just going out all the time, and I was clubbing like constantly and trying to bodybuild, which was fucking really counterproductive. Like,
just hitting your head against a brick wall.
Yeah, that was probably. I don't want to say that's my biggest regret, because I had an amazing time and I've got loads of good night out experiences.
You probably just had to get out your system, because if you're so cooped up for so long, it just like erupts. Like,
that's the thing with becoming so obsessed with something at the age of 15. It's like you almost like lose your fucking late teenage years type thing. But so yeah, I've been training for so long, man. I feel like my physique doesn't justify how long I've been training, but
it's dense tissue.
Yeah, it's like a combination of the kind of serious phases, and I've definitely not got amazing genetics. I know that for a fact.
It was mental when you showed me that picture of how big you got, though. Your heaviest, because it's amazing that your body can take the weight.
Yeah, my body type's been dead weird. I feel like I can gain weight very easily, and I can lose weight very easily. Like I can, if I want to, I can lose a stone in a week, or I can gain a stone in a week. Like it's quite a good thing. Like that was with Andy. I got up to I was 121 kilograms, like at the peak.
That's awesome.
That wasn't morning body weight, I'll admit. That was me.
That was after a meal.
That was me, like in the middle of the day with all my clothes on, just stood on a scale, and I was like, "Fucking yes, I'm 121 kilograms." But yeah.
What's the heaviest weight you've been up to, Taylor?
110.
I've been 113. How did you feel up at 120 kilos? Like general function.
See when I pushed up to 108, I started getting chafing under my arms. It was hard.
What height are you, Taylor?
6 foot.
Yeah, I don't know why. I always feel like I've fucking trained to be before, so I know exactly what. But I feel like me and Fraser are really tall.
Yeah.
You're like the short one of the group.
Yeah, I'm definitely shortest at 3.
You're 6 foot.
I'm the most condensed.
In terms of, I feel like you don't look like a tall guy, and that's probably a compliment.
Nah, yeah, I don't think I do.
Because you've not got lanky limbs at all.
Yeah, it's lucky, isn't it?
There you go.
Thank you.
Random. I don't know why.
How are your limbs?
Mine are the lankiest fucking limbs. I am the lankiest fucking cunt.
No,
yeah, that's how you do men's
physique. I'm fucking right up there, man. My limbs are so long, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but you've got the mighty levers, though. Fraser, I don't know. He's just not very blessed at that.
Nah, shit genetics. I'll put my hands up and even admit that I've not got good genetics.
You think? I think it's probably smart to address this, because everyone thinks about it and everyone cares about people's opinion on it. But do you think good genetics are everything? As in, do you think a guy? As in, would you say a lot of people just think they've got shit genetics and just stop and don't bother? Because they don't have that like immediate look.
Nah, I mean, you don't have to have good genetics to look good. But if you want to like really, really push it, yeah, having good genetics will play a part in it. Like, because I can think of so many guys I know that have got good genetics, but are so like uncoordinated or anything like that, and they just won't. They're not going to look anything outrageously good just because they've got that, like, they're not coordinated enough, or their training isn't, like, their form isn't that good. Mm-hmm. So even though they're genetically blessed, they're never going to look that good compared to someone that might not be genetically blessed. Just training's perfect, form's banging. They're probably going to grow more, but they probably will hit their, like, peak a lot quicker than someone else would.
Do you think that is an actual thing, is actually hitting your peak, though, even if you're natty or assisted? Because obviously there's argument. I know.
In the fucking assisted bomb already.
The A-bomb.
I'm fucking choking to talk about this.
Right, so no, can we talk about this? Because we'll allude to that later on, I'm sure.
I don't know, like, because I really don't know if someone could actually really hit it. I don't think anyone could ever hit it. Because you technically, it would be about an age. It'd be like you'd have to hit an age as well.
Do you not think it would be absolutely insane? I can't actually believe I'm saying this. Do you guys think that if there was, like, if someone was to create a genetically perfect person, right, and then their whole life was dedicated to bodybuilding, so they gave them everything A to Z, the training, everything's on point. How do you think that would actually look? Like, what do you think that would translate to on a human frame? Is it comprehensible?
Mm.
It'd be nuts. I think that would just be mental.
I mean, again, are they assisted or unassisted? Like,
yeah, they're pumped full of gear.
All right. It would look mad. You probably would
look like a Ronnie. Like it'd be like a Ronnie
or something like that.
Yeah. Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath, guys
I'm
like
going to
that.
put it out there. I do like Ronnie Coleman's physique.
You don't?
Never liked it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. Like, I look at it and I go, fucking hell.
I think
all the Mr. Olympias, I wouldn't be picking his physique if I could have one.
Yeah, he did have quite an ugly physique. Don't get me wrong, he was.
I would love to see him
big, but
I would love to see him in person, like at his peak size, just because.
Yeah.
So you see big guys, obviously like Andy.
It's better that he used to be a police officer. Can you imagine him up to arrest you? Fuck that.
Oh.
I mean, you could run away, but I would probably just surrender first. I'd be like, you're gonna snap.
You could run away. He's not gonna fucking chase you.
No, but that's the thing, though. Is I bet he's athletic. He must be mobile.
Yeah, no, he's not. Fucking look
Not
at him
anymore.
now.
Not anymore.
He's not mobile at all, man. He's never out of hospital.
It's pretty awful, man. He's had about 10 surgeries.
I know, it's...
For people that probably don't know, Ronnie Coleman obviously won Mr. Olympia for 6 or 7 years.
8.
Or was it 8? He was joint with Lee Haney, wasn't it? 8.
Yeah.
So won 8 Mr. Olympias. And now, I think just because of how he trained for so long, he was so strong, so he'd be able to, there's videos on YouTube of it, but it's just his style of training, super heavy, but also shitload of volume.
Yeah,
he's just totally crippled the poor guy. He's severed. I don't know what he's done. He's absolutely demolished his back and hips.
I just got quite a controversial thought that's just came into my mind. See all this. What?
Did you hear that? Oh no.
See all this. The new age of UK bodybuilding, everyone's going mad about logbooking and progressive overload and really driving that in. And as much as that's probably my main training philosophy, I think progressive overload, it can be very fucking damaging in terms of I don't think progressive overload is the right. In terms of to Jordan Peters' extent, I don't think that's the best way to train.
I would actually say
massively, because you can have your normal kind of client that we've all got that will be just set up and you technically do progressive overload, but it's nothing damaging. It's like when you get up to stupid weight, it's
when
you're pushing it so much more through what your body naturally wants to be at. That's when it's damaging.
I would say that the style which Fraser's describing is good until you get to that point where you're kind of maxed out with strength.
Yeah.
And then at that point you would then maybe change to a higher volume, less intensity approach.
I'm just thinking because when I trained, when I look back at my career and my training career, the main time I fucking really followed progressive overload when I started training with Andy. Me and him were going into the gym and it was I'm fucking getting an extra rep on this set on last week and I was pushing my body. I felt like I pushed my body too much to the point where I got a fucking hernia and I was riddled with fucking injuries. Got a really bad rotator cuff injury. I feel like my body wasn't suited to that extreme high level of progressive overload.
No one's body really is, though. I mean, what bodybuilder that doesn't have a pec tear, a bicep tear, a tear somewhere, or an injury or a surgery? Everyone gets it. It's just that just happens with what we do. We are trying to put on as much muscle as possible.
Yeah.
And
I'm just gonna
with that have to push what you'd naturally want to do so much more, and that's going to put you at so much more risk.
Yeah.
But
there are smarter rep ranges though.
I felt like sorry to interrupt, I just felt like I was maybe sometimes pushing, is there such a thing as going too far beyond failure? Like I would like go and I would attempt reps that in my head I knew I'm probably not going to get this rep, but I'm going to try it anyway. I think that was my downfall. Like getting the hernia and the fucking injuries.
But what sort of
what rep ranges did you say?
I know, I was going to say, sorry.
Like it was like fucking just, I didn't even go in my rep range in mind. It was just go to fucking T, can't go anymore. So it could have been like 13, 14 reps sometimes. Like,
all right.
Whereas at rep 12, I felt like, fuck, I'm fucked here at rep 12. But I would go to the 13th one and Andy would like spot the weight up, and it was just like, it was fucking like.
Oh, I know what you mean.
As long as your form isn't sacrificed too much, if you feel fucked from it, but your form's still like fine, then that's you just pushing it.
It comes back to the whole train smarter, not harder thing. Like, it's difficult though, isn't it? It's fucking hard to tell, like, because you've got that fucking animal mindset of fucking do one more, but then when you probably shouldn't have done another rep, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I mean, I do agree that like you need to train smart and hard.
Yeah,
like you need to do both of them. It's like it's just a case of like knowing when to back off.
Yeah.
Like pushing something too much, but if you feel you've got it in you or you want to try it, sometimes you need to take those risks.
That was another really good lesson learned from my. It was funny because it was like a 10-week experience. Me and Andy trained for a lot longer than 10 weeks. It was a whole year, but it was like the 10-week push that I did. But it was basically like a 10-week cycle. I ran basically the most amount of drugs I've ever ran. It was like, I'm going to fucking try and get as huge as possible. And I was just like an animal for 10 weeks.
I think I remember following that actually.
But I think the mistake that I made, like looking back now, was that I pushed too hard for too long. So I should, like, instead of going 10, because I don't think you can keep progressing your strength week on week for 10 plus weeks. Like, I feel like it's smart to maybe go 6 to 8 weeks really fucking pushing, and then like do like deloads. It's one thing that I didn't consider that I probably maybe should have done, and maybe could have prevented me getting the fucking hernia and the rotator cuff injury.
Deloads are wise and like monitoring your recovery and stuff like that, but also phasing your training. Like obviously, maybe not necessarily ideal, but pushing yourself into another rep range that could be higher or lower.
Yeah, I think
is really, really important as well. Like that's something not a lot of people do when they set up progressive overload. They just go like, that's it. Because I mean, you can do like just set it, do that for ages.
Yeah.
Don't change.
I think I'm.
Yeah. Sorry, on you go.
I think I'm at that point now where things are getting quite risky. You know, pressing things, and you really feel every part of the movement. That's why you have to be so precise with it. There's not really much margin for error because you can kind of hurt yourself at this point. But I still wouldn't train in another way. Then I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think for us,
time comes into a lot as well. If you really enjoy that type of training, then you're probably going to progress at it more because you enjoy it.
Well, yeah,
it might be more effective, but you fucking hate doing.
Oh, my left leg just cramped. You bastard!
Fuck's sake!
Oh, I thought my quad just pinged off.
Fuck's sake!
Get this down.
Get some salt in you.
Oh,
that was a close one. First casualty.
But yeah, I think for us as coaches and for coaches that are listening, that's maybe something important to try and factor into account every now and again, is like with your clients, like how long have they been pushing, and like when to. But obviously, I know it's hard to say, but when to kind of pull back, when to push. Like I feel like a good 6 to 8 week push with like a week deload or like different rep range or.
I think that depends on the client as well, though. In saying that, like I would say, guys like your advanced guys, like guys that be doing training like us, yes, you need to consider that. But for your like general kind of client,
oh yeah, like a lifestyle Joe Blogs client, yeah,
they're not going to need deloads because they're not going to be pushing their body that much. But if you do need a deload, you'll know.
You know what? It's just specific to person. It's just specific to each person because, you know, we all have complete different recovery capabilities, and that's something you have to manage yourself through, you know, becoming aware of your biofeedback. You're not going to get that, and you're going to keep pushing and pushing. When, you know, you're starting to notice your lifts are going down, you're getting stressed out. You're like, why have my lifts been going down the past week or two? You know, something's not right. You know, we're going to keep going. We're going to go even harder, and that's probably the worst thing that you could do, especially at that point.
Let's try and make this a wee bit, let's turn this conversation a little bit more educational. What's the main things people need to look out for if they're when to maybe consider a deload?
Sleep being shit.
Yeah. Appetite, lack of appetite.
Yeah.
Less regressing. What was that?
Strength going down, like regressing, yeah.
One of the main things I think is motivation. So if you start to dread going, like, fuck, I need to go. If you start to not like training, that's usually a good indication that you're pushing things a bit too much and you need to scale it back a wee bit.
That's exactly what I'm like. Like as soon as I kind of start to feel like, because I'm always so keen to go and train and give it everything, but there comes a point after pushing and doing that for every single session that your body catches up, although your head still may be in it.
Yeah.
You know, then when it starts to kind of change, you kind of have to recognize within yourself, okay, this is obviously coming to the end of this block. Let's have a nice wee deload. We're either going to reduce intensity, we're going to reduce numbers by a certain percentage, or we're just going to take a full week to just get away from it. Personally, in the past, the structured deload was just reduce everything and do it at, like, reduce the intensity by 30% or 40%, I think it was, or even 50%. But for me, I still felt like I benefited more from just taking a week off and just get away from it, bringing my calories up a bit and just relaxing. And then after a couple of days, okay, let's get going again.
I have the mindset as well, because you get you're like, oh, I want to get back to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's going to be like, right now with coronavirus, everyone's going to be like, oh, I can't wait.
Mate, I messaged the guy that owns Flex Unit, and I'm like, please, I'll have to mute this bit out on a fucking hell. But I'm like, let me in. I'm letting me in, and he's like, no, not a fucking way. Hope in hell. He's like, no hope in hell. So fair enough to him. But I'm absolutely dying, and I'm at a point where I'll do anything to go and train.
Yeah, you've got a fucking kick-ass setup though, man. You've got the fucking basics, so what you need.
Yeah, I'm
a wee bit jealous of your setup.
No, but you've got good stuff. You've got stuff that I'm quite jealous of. You've got some dumbbells. I love some dumbbells. I love some dumbbells.
We've both got quite a good setup, so we've overcame and adapted to the current situation.
What dumbbells have you got again?
I've got 5 kilograms, 6 kilogram, 10. I've got 12, and then it jumps up to 20, and then from 20 it goes right up to 38s. If I was being picky, I wish I could have like an in between
36, 32,
a set of 30s or something. But we've got the barbell, and I've got 220 kilograms worth of plates. So yeah, we've got the squat racks now as well as the bench. So I've pretty much got all the basics covered.
How are the stands? They all right? Pretty solid?
Yeah, they're fine.
If I had a dumbbell on it to make sure it's like not tipping.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was seeing, because I've seen so many videos.
Oh yeah, I mean, you need to be fucking sensible when you're using them. Like when you're finished a set of squats, you're not just going to run and dump the bar into the fucking rack. You need to be very careful and place that in.
Like whenever anyone's doing something heavy like a squat, both of us are literally like holding onto the bar, like guiding it to make sure.
Yeah, it's like landing a fucking plane.
Mate, I get to the point where in your last rep of squats, I'll literally sometimes just fall.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's just a nightmare waiting to happen. One of them's get caught and it's gonna just be a total guillotine. That's
I
it.
love that hack squat. So with some of those ones that you just let go and the handles ping out just automatically. So like you hold on, they're caught and that's it.
I was training with one of my mates, Kieran. Obviously you'll know him. And we were in lift and we were training with the other guy.
You talking about wee Hobbit, Kieran?
Yeah, he'll love this because he's actually asked some pretty wide questions. But
tall Kieran.
Yeah, but there's also
questions.
Someone else asked me a question about Kieran, so we'll have to go over that one. But
yeah,
what were we talking about again? It's gone.
Squatting and putting the bar in the rack.
Oh yeah. So we were at
That's the thing about Kieran, and then you're like, Kieran.
Something like that, I know.
Kieran.
Right, okay, can we stop being immature, please? Okay, so right, okay, ready. Okay, so we're training and lift, and then
we should all sorry. we should all have like a wee whistle, and when we feel like things are getting a bit too immature, we can blow the whistle and be like, right, rein it back in. Sorry.
Plug. Anyway.
Go, Taylor.
Okay, so 3 people were in the gym. There was a hack squat. Oh no, God. I can't even.
Right, sorry, mate. Right.
This will really set you off.
I know.
On you go.
Imagine he actually pulled out a whistle right now. There's the final piece of the Cuba puzzle.
No, I can't, I know.
Quest to be Cuba.
Yeah, mate, gotta fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Fake it till you make it.
Right, Kieran, you're saying.
So anyway, 3 people hack squat, and then Kieran's setting up and spotting the guy, and the guy's properly in it, and he's like, "Fucking yeah!" He's swinging the handles, and he swings it back and cracks Kieran right in the tooth.
Off.
Boom. Bleeder. Yeah.
On his tooth.
Oh, it was fine. I think it was just above it, but it was all like nasty.
Fuck, I know.
With stuff like that, though, I'm as soon as I seen that, I'm like, stand back.
Yeah.
even on like a leg press, when I went down to Ultraflex, Rotherham.
How fucking close was Kieran to the hack squat?
Oh, he was in it.
I fucking kissed the guy.
Have you never done that when someone's spotting you and you're like on the last rep and you kind of.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Worst one when you're having to do that with a client on a flat bench and they do that and you're literally like,
coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Man. Oh man. You get ready to get big and you're like, oh, thanks for that.
Yeah. I was training with one of my mates and we were on the decline. We were on the decline bench. And obviously the sweat was just dripping down his chin. And he went, done. I was like,
fuck, man.
He was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, you know what, mate, I've been there.
Yeah.
But that was worse. That was 2. That was a 2.
Oh, man. That's definitely happened to me plenty of times. Andy spitting in my face. And then...
And accidentally,
No.
Where's that fucking whistle?
Yeah, I know. We're going to get nowhere when we do this. We're just going to go round in circles.
I know.
It's quite good fun. I'm glad we jumped on. I'm glad we've done it.
But no, the point of this podcast is just to fucking shoot the shit. We're trying to be a wee bit educational, but at the end of the day, we're just fucking talking shit.
Yep. I noticed. Have you ever watched? He'll probably quite like this. It's a wee shout out to him. You know, Rob. Is it Rob in Aberdeen?
Yeah.
They've got a wee podcast and they're going. I'm awfully proud. They're not the reason I was into it, but I mean, I'm sure it's good. But it's pretty cool that you're seeing like more of them pop up. And for me, it's nothing to do with the market being too saturated. They're all totally unique.
Yeah.
Each of them will have, you know, people that they appeal to, and it's at the end of the day, it's, you know, we want to do something which is going to be fun, and we're going to touch on bases which are educational, and we're just going to take the piss and chat rubbish for however long.
Yeah.
But you know, there's people that, I'm presuming for everyone, it's weird. Yeah, talking rubbish.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is good. But Rob and Douglas's podcast is quite funny, and it is literally just them all talking shite. So shout out to the Aberdonians and the Indonesians. We've got potentially got some Highland viewers from away up in the fucking mountains. So
I'm trying to figure out how long we've been doing this for.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, so that's about what, an hour? Hour 15.
Jeez, do you want to get onto some questions?
Yeah. How many did you get? Did you get quite a lot, or
500,000? Yeah, I got a couple.
Because I got a good chunk, man. Like maybe 10.
Why don't we each pick?
Just pick 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. That shite.
Fraser. Not exactly. Have you got any?
All right. So the one that I was saying this to Darren, I thought this is a really good one. What's your funniest experience in the gym floor?
Funniest?
Like most embarrassing, or just it could be a funny experience?
Something like most memorable experience, like something you've seen that's funny, or something you've done that's stupid, or what? Doesn't even need to be training wise.
It used to be, what was it? It was it's probably kind of weird more than anything else, but there used to be this guy, where I used to train at David Lloyd's. There was this guy that used to come in, he used to always wear these recycling shirts, and he'd always go in the plate loaded leg press, but it was one of the Life Fitness ones, so you're kind of lying horizontally, and you're pressing it. I remember just walking past, and I seen a wee nut. That was pretty horrible. That was pretty horrible.
Your life changed after that moment.
Yeah. That's what got me into bodybuilding.
Yeah. Your Pornhub searches changed.
Yeah, exactly. Sweaty balls.
Recently, not like me myself, but like after I took like a class in all the gyms, there was a guy stretching, lying down, and I think he must have been stretching his glute or something like that. I honestly, it was at that quick a glance, I was like, what the fuck, mate? And he had
That's such a horrible sentence. He was stretching his glute.
He pulled his knee up, right, to his chest.
Oh.
The side of his short pulled up, and his ball was fucking out. And it was so awkward because he was an old guy, man. So that thing was an old man sagging.
Yeah. It's always the old guys. It's never the young guys.
They don't have any shame.
No.
I go and tell them to put it away.
I've got quite a funny one from when I was younger. And weirdly enough, this is the second time now I'm mentioning this guy's name, but it was Stevie Creighton. He trained in the gym that I trained in. And at the time, I was a young, aspiring bodybuilder, obviously knew who he was. I was like, fuck, he's a fucking, used to be a pro, he's a legitimate bodybuilder. I was obviously intimidated by him, and I think I was using the leg press, and he was walking by, and I was stripping my leg press, and I stripped 10 plates off of one side, and I didn't strip the other side, and the whole fucking leg press machine tipped.
Oh,
that's terrifying.
It honestly nearly smashed him in the face. They managed to dodge out of the way.
That's terrifying.
Luckily, I know I nearly crushed. I nearly crushed a former pro bodybuilder, but luckily enough,
that would be terrifying.
I know, mate. Luckily enough, he was pure sound about it. He was like, I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and he was like, don't worry, and he helped me pick all the plates up, and he helped me lift the machine back up. But yeah, that was pretty fucking terrifying, man. Wasn't really funny. It was more terrifying.
That's not funny because someone could have got killed.
I know. But right, questions. I've got fucking loads, man. Like,
ooh, Mr. Popular.
you see, everyone cares about my opinion. I've got quite a funny one. It just says, it doesn't make any sense. It just says, the use of steroids, yes or no? Like, that's not a legitimate question.
You know what though? I know what he means, and I actually hate when people are reading something and they're like, no context, no context will not answer. We know, like, people know what you mean.
I think there's obviously loads of different ways to answer that. If he's asking me if I think he should use, absolutely no way, 100% no is my answer, because I don't know anything about the guy. I don't know how long he's been training, and if he's asking a question like that, it probably. I mean, I feel like
not thought about it enough.
Yeah, you've not thought about it enough. You need to do tons of fucking research. Know what you're taking. Ask the right people for advice. I mean,
or do your research.
That's like one thing I'll say right now as well. See anyone that's thinking about using, no, like you don't need to. Like, and if you're properly like in a position where your training's been unreal for years, your diet's been good, you actually have really, really good foundations, you're looking at competing or taking it like really, really seriously, and for that reason I want to use, make sure you're ticking every single box, make sure you get your blood work done so you know what your actual level should be sitting at naturally. So when you come off and you're then having to get your redoing your bloods, you know what levels you should be sitting at roughly. People jump into it. Make sure you know what you're taking. Don't be going and asking your fucking guy you're buying off of.
Yeah, pump in your gym.
What will get me huge? Like they're always just like the cherry on top of the cake, and it's not the above all and end all. Like people always automatically assume, oh, he's big because he's in steroids. Yeah. Well, we fucking make sure his training, his diet, his sleep, everything is fucking perfect. Yes, he'll use them, but and it'll help him push that much more. But you don't just get gifted like good results just because you've taken them.
Yeah. I'm always really proud of the kind of route that I took. So I trained for like 4 years naturally, and I tried to get myself as big as possible. And I took myself from, I was 155 pounds when I first started training, and 4 years later I think I got up to like 220 pounds. That's 60 or 70 pounds I put on naturally, like without anything. And then when I was like, right, I want to start competing, I want to get more serious about bodybuilding. I was 19 at the time. I was like, I'm gonna take this to the next level. Then I started to use stuff. But I spent those 4 years building that base, which is, again, Fraser touched on. You need to have a fucking base of training. If you've only been training for a year or two, don't fucking think about it. You don't.
Yeah, growing. You're growing at such a rate then anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're like, oh, but I'm not seeing progress. Your food shite, your training shite, your recovery shite. Like, you need to be looking at these. If you're not progressing after a year naturally, something you 100% have issues somewhere else. In case of steroids are the answer or the way to fix it. Don't jump onto them. You don't need to. Unless you're like at that proper point. But when you're at that proper point, you should know everything that you could be potentially taking, or know them pretty well, or what you should be looking out for.
I was actually out in town one day. I was walking home, and I think it was like a nice day, so I sat down, and then this like bit of a gadget came over, and he was talking to me, and he was like, all right, big man, like obviously could tell I trained and everything, and he goes, he's like, mate, so what do you think about Winstrol? Just out of the blue.
A random junkie?
He was like, I'm looking to get back in shape, mate. I've just let myself go, but I could maybe start a cycle in a couple of weeks. And I was like, I could not believe it. Not believe it. So what about Winstrol?
Yeah, I think it's outrageous the amount of times I've heard like guys go, "Oh yeah, I'm really overweight, so my PT's got me taking tren." And you're like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, that's it. Because you know what?
Why?"
I'm gonna. There's a lot of PTs all over the place. I really have no ground to say this. I try and educate myself to the best ability when it comes to this sort of stuff, and try and be as smart as I can be, and ensure that the information that I'm looking at is all legitimate and all proper and is all backed. But so when I hear about certain coaches prescribing stupid things with no kind of health supplements or anything in place, or just taking omega-3 and a multivitamin, no, it's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
No, it kind of makes me a little bit anxious of what people, and the people that I find are always doing the stupid stuff are the people that don't look like they are, and they're just starting out, you know. Like I was talking to this guy in the gym, and within 5 minutes he was telling me about that he just started a cycle. I had not mentioned anything about PED use whatsoever, and then he brings it up, and he asked me to look at it, and it was stupid for a first cycle. It was ludicrous, and
so whilst we're on that topic, talk about if you are going to do a first cycle, what do you think you should take?
This is a hard one.
I know. Like I can only speak from experience. So my first ever cycle was 500 milligrams of test, and I think I did like a wee 30 milligram of D-ball Kickstarter for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
So it was just basically 500 milligrams of test. But if I could go back and do things again, I would go in with a smaller dose. I think what everyone should be trying to do is trying to get the most amount they can out of the least amount.
So you
drugs.
Whose dosage?
That's so if I was going from a completely natural background where I've not had anything in my system before, your receptors, everything is going to be so responsive to the smallest amount. So you could start on 250, 300 milligrams and you'll get fucking amazing results off of that. But as we've said a million times, your training needs to be at fucking perfect. Your nutrition needs to be perfect. Your sleep, your rest, your fucking fluid intake. There's so many wee things that people don't check off. They just worry about their cycle. They don't worry about how much are you sleeping, how much water you have in a day, what do you eat? Do you know how many grams of protein do you eat? I don't know, but they know exactly what their cycle is. It's like,
going back to what you said, I'm kind of stuck in two minds, because my first cycle was the exact same as yours. Genuinely. And at the time I thought it was. I was like, okay, I feel like maybe I should start on less, like 250, and stick the D-ball in, which I did for 3 weeks. I don't really think that D-ball needs to be in. I think it's the benefit kind of is almost outweighed by the toxicity of it, the damage that it's going to cause.
Yeah.
But anyway, after having reviewed that, you're thinking, okay, well, 250 is just over a natural range. It's probably about the high end natural range. So why would you get that exact same kind of that exact same quantity just exogenously? It doesn't make sense. And then maybe you want to have it a bit higher.
You would start out, I would say you'd be best starting out around that, but then you would need to increase it. But like as soon as you put 250, 300 milligrams of testosterone into your system, you are going to respond to it if you're natural. And then obviously as like your natural test levels will shut off, and it'll obviously your testosterone levels will just come down. Then I would say, right, okay, you could look at maybe going 500 test or adding in an oral or something like that. I wouldn't say that I would add in an oral, really. You don't really need to.
I think like in an ideal world, if you're listening to this and you're considering it, and you're a sensible person.
I wouldn't advocate it. I'm just going to say that. Like,
I
good idea.
I don't advocate doing it, but if someone is going to
go down that route,
decide to go down that route, the first thing you need to do is get blood work done. Get blood work done so you know, first of all, you know if you even need anything, because you might have ridiculously high levels of testosterone just naturally. But the good thing about blood work is that you can get blood work done that can come back and it can tell you you've got really low levels of testosterone, so you know I should be supplementing with this and I should be getting this, I should be putting this in. Because ultimately, if you've got low test levels, testosterone, your quality of life is going to be significantly lower than if you have optimal levels of testosterone.
I would say though, make sure to base the dosages off of how your test levels are looking. Like, take that into account.
Yeah.
Because going back to what you're saying, is you want to get the most at least, which I think will always be the case, because after a certain point, the toxicity within you is just it's not smart. Yeah. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Kidney and liver damage and everything like that. It's not something you should be doing long term.
And if you look at how Luke Sando and James Hollingshead, they both recently on podcasts said, I think Luke said that for the Olympia this year, his testosterone dose was 600 milligrams. And I'm pretty sure James Hollingshead was around about 750 mark. So they're like the top fucking IFBB pros, and they're taking about 600 to 750. So look at perspective on that. You don't need to be way up at that level. I feel like your muscle mass needs to merit the dosage that you take.
Yeah, I think, but that also makes me question. I'm just being a devil's advocate here, sorry, but I feel like that makes me question. Although that's what they're taking just now, what's got them there?
And in the past they have openly said that they've ran massive, and in Luke's defence, he did say that he only took 600 milligrams because he wasn't trying to grow or get bigger. He was just trying to maintain what he had. So that's a good point. Is obviously relevant to mention.
It's nuts when you see these pros that are cruising on, 500 to a gram a test.
Yeah.
It's mental.
I know.
Disgusting. What that'll be doing to them.
Yeah.
And ruining.
I mean, it's quite good that you kind of fired out this question, because I'd had a couple of people ask about it. So I think we covered quite a lot in that question, so that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Want to tell one?
You go. Have you got questions, Taylor?
I've got a couple of really simple ones that I can actually fire off that aren't.
Yeah.
I think people are just, there's certain terminology people might not understand. I've got a couple here, or not terminology, but certain basics that I think people really need to know. And they might seem ludicrous to us, but there's more people out there. So, so this guy asked, what's more important when bulking, calories or macros? So, although it might sound like quite, although it might sound like quite a daft question to us, your macros make up your calories. So
yeah, it's kind of like
they're the same. They're the same thing. They're not the same thing, but they are.
Although the question could be, what's more important, your total calorie number or the ratio of the macros? Do you know what I mean?
I don't think he means, but I know what you mean.
That would make more sense if he's wanting to know that. Like,
if that's then
is it just about 5,000 calories, whatever the macro ratio, or is it more important to focus on 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fat type of thing?
What I would do is I would find out what your calories are at just now, and then find out just work out what your maintenance calories are. It's easy to do, and then that's it. And then you start building from there. So you just add a little bit of carbs, a little bit of fats if you really need to. And then just adjust protein accordingly.
Yeah.
So that was quite an easy one. And then
for like the most nutritious option, like when you're going for sources like your chicken sources or your steak sources, whatever, don't try and cut corners. Like, the more nutritious the food is, then, or the better quality, then the more you're going to get out of it. You've also, like, we talk about, like, digestion and stuff like that with clients and check-ins is so important, because if your digestion isn't on point or you're having issues with food, you're not going to absorb the nutrition in it. So, like, it's cool saying, like, in a chicken breast there is 40 grams of protein, or in a McDonald's burger there's 20 grams of protein, and people talk about, oh, it's macros, and like, it's still, you can still count it. You're not going to absorb that though. Your body's not actually going to take in all that protein, because it's such shit quality. Your body's
it's different if you're trying to you can look at it like, are you trying to just get results, or are you trying to optimize everything? If you're looking at optimal, it's like optimal versus just wanting results. Like,
everyone should be going for optimal.
Yeah, but if you're just wanting results, a calorie is a calorie. But if you're looking at
amino profile of it,
if you're trying to optimize, a calorie isn't a calorie, because 500 calories of chicken breast versus 500 calories of cooked fucking ready to eat ham is totally different. Your body's going to use them both differently. You're going to feel different eating them. So I agree. Obviously, I agree with Taylor. Feel like everyone should be reaching for the optimal side of things rather than just wanting the results.
Because it's not, you're going to get the results a lot quicker if you focus on,
and healthier as well.
Yeah. But almost, like,
anytime anyone does any kind of body transformation, we keep talking about your health is always got to be the priority. So when you talk about, like, I'm just transformation and taking shortcuts with, like, quality of food, you are not going to be as healthy as what you could be. And later down the line, if that becomes a trend in your diet, you're just going to be asking for issues. Like, if you do use, like, packets of ham, stuff like that, later down the line, you will notice health issues from shit quality sources.
Yeah.
Well, look, our parents, all of our parents are literally grown up from, like, a generation of ready cooked meals and stuff like that. And fucking hell, some of their health concerns are brutal.
Yeah.
Shall we do one more question?
Yeah. So I've got that one.
Again, go for it.
Again, it seems like pretty straightforward, but again, what's your calorie deficit when cutting? Again,
what?
Yeah, I know. What's your calorie deficit when cutting? I think what it means, what are your calories when you're cutting? Again, that's just like terminology. So yeah, what is your calories is totally dependent from person to person. Again, calculate your maintenance, and then maybe just when your weight flattens out, starts to plateau, take out maybe 50g of carb.
Yeah.
And then just...
I don't know. I think maintenance, say when people talk about maintenance calories, that is something that you need to focus on so fucking briefly. Like, when you start out, you should know it. But then after that, it does not matter, ever. It never ever matters. It's what you're eating now. If you get into a routine with it, what you're eating. So say my maintenance calories was 3,000 and I pushed my body weight and I was bulking up to 3.5, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I then start to, like, when I try to diet, I'm not going to go back down to those maintenance calories straight away or push below that. I just start taking a little bit off of or eat a little bit less of what I was, and you will lean out. You always want to try and preserve as much muscle tissue as what you've got. And if you just take massive jumps down in your food intake, your physique will reflect that. It won't look as good.
I would say just make sure you're being sensible with what you're taking out, because from a fat loss phase, you're better off taking, or weight loss phase, you're probably better off taking the carbohydrates down, not just taking like big chunks of your chicken or your meat or whatever. Just because you're eating less of that doesn't mean it's going to have a similar kind of effect.
Yeah. I feel like if you don't know how to work out your calorie maintenance amount, there's two ways you can do it. You can either use the fucking things on Google, like there's like loads of different things you can, and that'll give you a rough guide. But my most optimal, again, I keep talking about optimal, the best way for you to work out what your calorie maintenance is just by trying a diet for a couple of weeks and seeing what your body weight does. So follow a 3,000 calorie diet for a week, and if your body weight goes up, that means that's too much calories for you.
Yeah.
If your body weight goes down, it means 3,000 calories isn't enough. So what you're trying to do is find out how many calories your body needs to maintain its body weight. If you eat 3,000 calories and your body weight stays the same, there you go, perfect. 3,000 calories is my maintenance for now. So
I really like that. It stops people going up and looking at all these things. Like it's actually so logic just to do that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're
it seems like common sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's some trial and error with everything you do in a diet. But until you get to a point that you've done it several times and you know your routine and stuff like that, like the first one you ever do or get into the swing of it is complete trial and error.
And see, as coaches, do you guys
always recommend is don't lowball your protein.
Yeah,
because that is the most important. Like, just that's not for like protein bro. It's like just general body function. Like you need to make sure that you're getting in enough protein into your diet, and it has such a massive effect on your body.
And from a coaching standpoint, do you guys see that it's very much like that from person to person? There is still a lot of trial and error involved.
Yeah, so I usually say to clients when they first come to me, I always almost give them a heads up, and I say, and almost just to explain to them, look, it's going to take me a couple of weeks. In these initial first few weeks of your coaching, there's going to be a lot of trial and error going on because I'm trying to learn who you are I'm trying to learn who you are. I'm trying to learn what responds with your body, because I could start you off on a moderate to high carb diet, and you might be very sensitive to carbs. I don't know that unless I work with you for a couple of weeks. So then after the first week, we don't get the reaction that we're wanting, then we can go, okay, maybe you're a wee bit sensitive to carbs. So what we'll do is we'll bring your carbs down, we put your fats up a wee bit, and you manipulate the macros, and then you find, right, that's what your body's responded to. But there's trial and error. It's not going to be, this is the bullet, this is the blueprint. We start this from week one and you're instantly going to have results, because everyone's body is different. So for us as coaches, we constantly need to do trial and error with our clients until we find what works. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of times where you're just fucking lucky. You straight off the bat, you get it right with the client and they start getting results straight away. But it's not uncommon for you to have to take a couple of weeks before you're starting to get things moving.
I always say that to clients when I give them plans after a consult form or anything like that. We're like, this is your plan. This could look completely different in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many factors that you need to kind of suss a client out. Like you could have the exact same types of people, 2 8-kilo guys.
Yeah.
You could give them the exact same. They have the same plans, but one of them is at a desk job. One of them's a fucking bricky or whatever. One's got a far more active job, or one is a lot more sedentary, and then the other thing you need to think of as well is training intensity. Like, does one train like a bitch and actually make sure they get the most out of the session? So you need to think about all these things, and you'll see that as the weeks go on, how they respond to it. So you can give someone a plan, but if you barely have to change the plan, it's rare that you never have to change the plan, that you get it bang on, I think.
Yeah, that is rare. I've got...
Wait, what? Can I say one more?
Yeah, on you go.
Sorry, this is the one about Kieran. Would you rather fight one Kieran Milne-sized duck or 100 duck-sized?
What did it say? Say that again?
It's like a tongue twister. Would you rather fight one Kieran Milne-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Kieran Milnes?
I feel like that's so confusing. I don't know.
Have you ever met Kieran?
Yeah.
Oh, he's tiny.
Yeah, I sat next to him at the Manchester show.
One duck-sized duck.
Yeah, it would basically just be the size of a duck, to be honest with you. It'd just be those wee ducks.
I would rather not fight any Kierans, because I love Kieran and he's a fucking good guy.
Yeah, doesn't mean you can't smash him, man. Sometimes we're playing call out like that to you. It's just...
I know.
Fraser probably wants that to both of us.
Yeah. Be caring, man.
But yeah, 100 duck size geared. This is confusing.
That is very confusing.
I mean, I would definitely rather fit a Kieran Milne sized duck.
Yeah, that's just one duck.
Scary.
Right?
That would scare the shit out of me. A duck that.
Right. Freaky Friday situation.
Oh God.
Your mum have a Freaky Friday situation. Their mind switch bodies, right? So your bird's mind is in your mum's body, and your mum's mind is in your bird's body. There's one way you can switch them back. Shag one. Which one do you shag?
That's horrible, man. I can't answer that. I'm going to hell. That's horrible. That's horrible. You probably looked up sick jokes.
I would definitely go with the Anne-Marie's body, but it's my mum's mind. Because it's Anne-Marie's body. It's not like, I feel like I couldn't have sex with my mum's body.
But then you got to think, like, what if she makes a noise during it? You're like, oh, my mum's enjoying this.
Oh man, tap out. I'll tap out on that.
That one's horrible. I love both of them, so I can.
Make sweet passionate love to both. That's your answer.
That's horrible. That is horrible.
I've got quite a good one. Well, I've got a stupid one and a good one.
Yeah, sorry.
The stupid one is, would you rather, this has probably heard this before, would you rather have dicks for fingers or one finger for a dick? Obviously, you would rather have a finger down there because 90% of the time, the general public they're not going to see that, but they're going to see fucking dicks.
Wear a pair of gloves, man.
I know, it'd be so normal now.
No.
Nah, probably the finger. Yeah, probably the finger.
Yeah.
I'd want the dick hands. I think that'd be funny.
Slap people with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, cool. The good one that I had was supplements on a budget. So if somebody's on a budget, what supplements do you recommend, if any? So do you mind if I jump in on that and just answer it straight away? So if you're on a budget and money is tight, I would say don't use any supplements because you don't need supplements. If you are struggling with money and every penny counts, you need to be putting those pennies towards food. So your chicken, your mince, everything. So food's always going to be priority. If you've still got a wee bit of money left over and you're wanting to know what I think is the best supplement, I would always just go with just a basic whey protein or a whey protein isolate, because you're going to get all your essential aminos. You're going to get glutamine, amino acids, branch chains, everything. There's quite a varied amino acid profile in whey protein. It kind of covers everything. You don't need to just be taking glutamine. You don't need to just be taking a pre-workout. That's me. I just think a basic whey protein, that's all you need if you're on a budget.
I think if you're going to spend money on supplements, make sure you're actually like getting the most out of them. So like essential amino acids, them and protein powder would be the ones I would say that if you're going to get a supplement, they'll be the ones. But if you're getting a protein powder, I would say just isolate as a minimum.
Yeah.
There is different types of like protein powders, and you're like, was it concentrate, isolate, hydrolyzed, isn't it?
Concentrate, hydrolyzed, isolate.
I'm pretty sure hydrolyze and isolate are kind of similar.
Nah, hydrolyzed, different process.
Well, I know,
I think they're both.
Yeah. Your body will absorb them relatively quickly.
With concentrate though, it is shit. It is like the amount of times clients I have like, oh, I've just got my protein and stuff like that. Like nothing against it. It's just that it's a common one everyone goes through. But the amount of times you're like, oh, I'm having stomach issues and stuff, and like it is probably that with protein that's doing it. If you're going to buy a supplement, spend the money on it and make sure it's a quality supplement, because you're then just going to cause yourself other issues that you don't want to have to worry about.
Yeah. Taylor, the question was, if you were on a budget and you could only buy one supplement, what would you buy basically?
Okay, that would be like a whey product.
Yeah.
But I think we probably should elaborate on that though, and like give us like top 4. If you could get 4, what would they be?
All right. Whey protein, EA, probably an omega.
Yeah.
Omega. And maybe something like magnesium.
Pre-bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say either essential aminos or whey. So that's kind of the same thing in my mind, like just amino acids. Then omega-3 fish oil. So fish oil is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing for so many things.
Joints.
Yeah. Blood pressure, your heart. Fucking omega-3 is good. Yeah. Vitamin D3.
I wouldn't recommend that right now because you can get fucking hunters of that. Yeah. I think that's definitely seasonal. But that's a season.
I think that
every day.
all year round, everyone in Britain should be supplementing with vitamin D3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to go top 3. Omega-3s, vitamin D, and a protein powder. Simple.
I would say protein powder, curcumin, omega-3, glutamine. Yeah.
One thing I like to point out, none of these are like pre-workouts or anything like that. You do not need them. Fucking coffee will do it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need any of that shit. It's just the stuff that's actually going to be beneficial to you.
Yep.
These are like a nice... I'm surprised you guys said EAAs. I'd say that's a luxury.
Yeah, I know that. I was meaning more of a case of like if you're going to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did say in the beginning, if you're limited with money, you shouldn't be putting your money towards supplements. You should put it towards food.
Yeah.
If you're sacrificing your chicken, your rice, your broccoli, your beef, your salmon, just to buy a supplement, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You need to be putting the money towards the good quality food. Then if you've got additional money, then you can put it towards those things.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we've been on for nearly 2 hours now.
Okay. Well, I can make it. We can split it into 2 parts.
Well, yeah.
Or is that you just try to tell me you want to leave?
I'm fucking bored now.
Correct.
I'm absolutely shocked if people are still watching by this point.
Yeah, they will do. We'll have plans.
That's like fuck, and what we'll do is send us it so we'll listen to it first.
You just put it up as is.
I honestly think there's a good 15 minutes at the beginning that was pointless.
Yeah,
exactly. No, it's good because then it's the people get the icebreaker, and also, this can be like look back in history. Maybe one of the most painful entertainment. Painful entertainment. This could be the genre. We could be setting a trend.
Do you want to?
I get one more.
There you go.
One more. Right. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. I hope it could go either way. What was your last internet search?
I'll be honest. I'm short.
You have to be honest.
It was something pure born. By the way, it wasn't porn.
Don't see mine. This isn't even This isn't even like a. This is generally what it was. Trained by GP, you're doing a 30% off. So.
Oh, class. I've got the fucking best answer in the world for you.
Right.
I literally just opened my internet browser, right? This is the last thing that was on it. See if you can see that.
Shelter in Amsterdam. Is that the club?
Shelter in Amsterdam.
All right.
Oh, mate. Remember the club we went to?
Yeah. Was that the
fucking best night of my life?
I was absolutely howling when you put up that Instagram post, like, in the shelter. It was actually in a shelter under the ground.
Actually in the ground. Remember that place?
I forgot all about that.
I was like,
an underground bunker that's actually in the ground.
That was the most daring thing ever, man. I was buckled. I was like, the Joel, is this actually happening?
That was fucking amazing, man. That was such a good night.
I know.
Shout out to Shelter in Amsterdam. If you're in Amsterdam, you want a good...
his guest list.
If you want a good night out, go to that fucking club, man. It's epic.
My last search history was to go into my hypertrophy coach university site.
Oh, that's cool.
I signed up to that hypertrophy coach university thing. So, like, I've got the app up now.
Joe Bennett.
Yeah, Joe Bennett is actually pretty good. So it's like his app and the stuff that's on it. So that was the last thing I was looking at.
Did you see the muscle?
So glad it was that and not something else.
Yeah, I did that one just to target you.
When you did, I shat myself a little bit, not gonna lie.
I know you did. I see your face. Well, no, it's a way. I was going to say something, but it can't be that relevant. Vibrams. Yeah, nah, don't get those ones. Those are the proper.
That's the ones that Cooper's got. Cooper's got them.
They're the bad ones, though. Nah.
Cooper. But Cooper wears them.
I know. Hey, you're thinking about getting a pair as well, mate.
I know. That's why I'm searching them.
For the record, I do not want the pair.
No.
Yeah, you do. We'll get one for your birthday.
You've not got the swag to pull that off.
Yeah.
The general one.
I think we should. Why don't we try and wrap it up? Like, just go around the table and just see if anyone's got any sign-off messages.
Stay safe.
Stay alert.
Get swole.
Get sober.
Stay swollen.
I feel like we should have the outro music and it has to be the Ziz, your Find Yourself.
Yeah.
Just like find
that class.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that does with that, mate. I've had a jolly good time.
I'm happy with that. I feel like
anyone else.
Messages on Instagram.
Yeah. I feel like that was slow to get things moving because obviously this is our first time doing it. But once we got into the groove, I think we covered some fucking good topics there, man. So
yeah, good fun as well.
That.
Yeah.
Took us a while to get the fucking wagon up and running.
That's fine. I'll probably split us into two.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Darren,
do you want to sign off with a radio voice?
I've just been nominated as the fucking. Is that because I've got a face for radio?
That's because you're the oldest and most wise.
It's actually an ethnic thing. Better, but
I'll be the token.
Does it because right now white guys aren't doing too well in society.
Right, so we'll leave it at that for episode 1. This was just a kind of trial episode, so let us know what you think. Send us a DM. Let us know if you thought it was shite. That's fine. Any questions you've got, make sure DM us as well.
Yep.
We'll see how this goes. We'll upload this, and if it's popular, we'll make more of them. But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
This has been the Scotch Beef Podcast. Signing out.
Oh,
Scotch Beef Podcast.
Yes, boy. See you later. Right, I'm away.
Right, I need to figure out how to turn this off.
End meeting.